Hello, episode of Sports with Monga, and we are back to the Champions League nights, the European nights, basically the midweek games that we all look forward to. Of course, these are very hard games to watch all around the world because they're like the timings sometimes don't really work. It's late night, and these games have been mouth-watering. What a clash we've had! The first leg of the quarterfinal of the Champions League 23-24 has basically started with amazing clashes. We're watching Real Madrid playing Manchester City and Arsenal playing Bayern Munich. Real Madrid at Santiago Bernabéu with a return clash of the previous years where we've seen ManCity tame Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti definitely would prepare for a revenge, and that's what we've got, basically. A 6-goal thriller. What a game. For some amazing goals, like bangers. Valverde's goal, I don't know why I missed that. Foden and Guardiola have scored smashing hits, but Valverde as well. Before we get into it, guys, there's a lot of more content coming through for you from Champions League, from the Premier League title race, from Bundesliga, from Formula One as well. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that bell icon to get updates. Sports with Monga is my attempt to kind of give you my perspective games, how I'm watching this. I'm spending a lot of time watching these games. So it's a sort of an analysis from a fan's perspective. So help me make this into something. Drop in the comment section below what do you think I should do next, or possibly topics that you would want me to talk about. So do get into this and hit the subscribe button, and we get into this thriller of the matches that we've had basically over the last 2 days. Do look out for the part 2 as well of the games that will also happen. The PSG and Barcelona and Atletico playing Dortmund as well. Let's talk about the Real Madrid and Man City game. Rúben Dias own goal, Rodrygo goal, and a Freddy Valverde goal. These are goal scorers for Real Madrid. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and Josko Guardiola, the scorers for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva he is something else in a Champions League night. Completely catches Lunin out, foxes him with a beautiful free kick, it's like there's no bangers. It was just like smart, and it just did the job, and it was a goal, and that gave Man City the lead in the second minute itself. But Camavinga's shot was basically deflected and by Rúben Dias and completely, wrong-footing Ortega for the goal, and Rodrygo. What a run! Vinícius Júnior was coming back from a ban, like he's on from La Liga for Real Madrid to play, but Rodrygo was unstoppable. Like the game, like the composure that Real Madrid has, it was just amazing to watch. But then his run and then beating Akanji as well as Rúben Dias for a beautiful, just slotting it, he just pushes it and it kind of gets into the goal. What a goal from him. But then we have the 2 bangers from Phil Foden and Josko Guardiola. What a goal. That Pep after the game also said that he didn't see Foden in the game a lot, but he did. But that's what Foden does. Like, he gets the space, you give him space, and he left foot banging, and it just gets into. He was the man of the match as well, for the player of the match from the Real Madrid game. And you just expect that from him. He's just great in an overall perspective. And that's what you expect as well from him. You don't expect anything else. If you give him space, he will bite you. And that's Carlo Ancelotti versus Pep Guardiola. That's how we see the head-to-head is 4 wins for Man City, 4 draws, and 3 wins for Real Madrid, with 20 goals scored by Manchester City and 17 by Real Madrid. It's this game that it's a beautiful game. It's an epic encounter which we liked, which we loved to watch. Definitely the main miss was Kevin De Bruyne, because he was supposed to be on the pitch, but then he had right like the last minute he felt sick. That's what he said. and that's why he was out of the match immediately. Haaland was kept quite a lot by Tchouaméni and Rudiger, who were just eating him basically. Like they didn't give him any space, and he had to kind of drop in very deep to get the ball sometimes. But he did the job that he's supposed to be as a number 9, holding that defensive line. He could have like had chances, but then Manchester City have other players who can score goals as well. Like, and Josko Gvardiol coming into it, gives them a much needed boost. And it's going to be an amazing match now at the Etihad in a week's time, playing for the quarterfinal. Whoever wins gets into the semi-finals. That's pretty simple situation. Of course, Manchester City will have the advantage for playing at home. Real Madrid is away, but 3-3 does give them benefit that they can score against Man City. 3 goals is not bad. And of course, Vinícius Júnior, we know Jude Bellingham is definitely somebody else. In Champions League matches, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Valverde, and Rúben Dias. There's no dearth of talent in Real Madrid at this moment. But of course, Champions League nights are special. You need to have the composure, emotional and footballing kind of to kind of tame yourself to ensure that you don't kind of get overwhelmed with emotion. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about who will pass through? We'll do a reaction video as well in a week's time. In my mind, it is going to be, I'm going to put my money on Manchester City. Manchester City home will, that Pep Guardiola would do the best he can to make it through for them to win. But it's Champions League nights as well, and Real Madrid have a different history here. We're talking about somebody who's just unbeatable in Champions Leagues. But I think Man City will go through with the second leg in Manchester. Coming to the second mouth-watering game that we have, a 2-2 draw between Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Martin Odegaard, the player of the match from that game. Goals galore, like a lot of goals, basically. We almost felt like at one point there was a return from Mr. Harry Kane, and he kind of said like, "Hey, did you miss me? I am back to the North London." But that's what Harry Kane does. He just can't stop scoring goals. That's the other issue that he has. On the other side, goals from Lisandro Trossard and Saka. What Saka? Oh, he became like such a controversial topping point as well in this game, because 2 points. One was the fact that he had a very controversial moment at the end, because people thought that he had dived. It's a very interesting moment. The match is about to end, and Arsenal on a break. It's basically one-on-one. Saka, Saka is 1v1, and it almost felt to me at that point that with Neuer, and it almost felt to me like, it's going to be a simple tap in. But then it's interesting. Saka dangs his right leg, and it hits Neuer, and he drops down, and it's basically asking for a penalty, and which was not given by the referee, and that's why VAR also didn't kind of come in. Bukayo Saka was vehement, and he was eating. He was like, "How the fuck did you not give that penalty to the referee?" And because he had given the penalty earlier after Leroy Sané was brought down by Saliba in the penalty box in the 32nd minute when Harry Kane scored. So it's not that he didn't want to give penalty. He did give the penalty, but Saka didn't get it. And then that was the controversial moment. He was like furious, completely furious at the end in the 90+6 minute. Would have been a different game. Advantage would have been Arsenal. But then Arsenal was playing home. Bayern definitely did make a comeback because they were 2-1 down. They were down 2-1. Arsenal was down 2-1 because after Saka's goal, Gnabry equalized pretty quickly with a beautiful goal. And then we had Harry Kane's penalty with 2-1, and Leonardo Trossard in the 77th equalizing. Arteta, of course, felt there were a couple of moments as well in that game, because it almost felt to me like the referees didn't do their job well, because there was a moment where for Bayern, they feel that Raya gets the ball to Gabriel. Gabriel picks the ball by his hand and gives it back. So the ball is in play. But then this is like, yeah. And the explanation apparently was that come on, I can't give a penalty for that. That's kids play. We're playing Champions League. Let's be more professional and stuff and so on. So, but I'm like, come on, guys. Be better. Like, play by the rules and let's not make judgment calls by themselves. But yeah, that's how it ended. 2-2. Arsenal Bayern. Now Arsenal will travel to Allianz Arena next week to face the second leg of this game. The advantage is definitely Bayern, but Bayern are having a great season in the Bundesliga. But this could be the chip that they want on their shoulder, and Harry Kane's first trophy as well. Harry Kane, of course, would want to continue, but in my opinion, I feel the pressure of the Premier League will get to Arsenal and they will crumble, and I see Bayern Munich going through. So I see Bayern playing Manchester City in the semi-final of the Champions League. Let me know in the comment section what do you think as Arsenal fans and Bayern fans. Is this what you dream of? How do you see this clash kind of going in the next week? Drop in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button, do like the video, and do share it with your friends, and do hit the bell icon for further updates. And do stay tuned for the next next video for the Champions League game for PSG, Barca, and Atletico playing Dortmund. Do stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. Hit the subscribe button to be updated, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.